What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a Path of Exile video. Lake of Kalandra 3.19 is coming out. It's super hype. I'm looking forward to it a lot. You'll notice not my normal background. We are on vacation currently down in Oregon, but I wanted to get this video out before the league actually launches so I can let you guys know what I'm going to be doing for the 3.19 league start coming up here very, very soon. In today's video, I will be breaking down kind of the leveling process of this build, give you guys a snapshot of kind of what it might look like at the end game for this particular build, and go over some things in a little bit during the gearing process and some of the skills that I chose to use, so you guys can understand exactly what I'm coming from for this build. Just as a quick reminder before jumping like fully into the video, I do stream over on Twitch. 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is normally when I go live. Since I'm on vacation right now, my times are a little bit screwed up, but I will be streaming for the launch of 3.19 Lake of Kalandra League. So go ahead and jump over there, follow, subscribe there if you haven't already, and I will see you live over there as well. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, let's start things off with the leveling process. Right from the start, the Shadow really has some really strong options available to it, even as a attacking class, not necessarily using spells to level. We will be using attacks to level from the start, just because I feel like it. Just so you guys know, this is going to be in solo self-found, so this isn't a trade league guide for any reason. I haven't done solo self-found probably in like, I don't even know, 5-6 years. Whenever that guy made the first hardcore solo self-found, but it was the unofficial ladder version. It wasn't even like an officially supported game mode. That's when I really last played it a lot. And I don't know about you, but I cannot stand trading in this game anymore. So I want to see if solo self-found can kind of help fix some of the problems that I have with the game. With that in mind, this will be for a solo self-found character. So let's dive into kind of what this character looks like early on. So right off the bat, you're going to be using Cobra Lash. Cobra Lash is still very, very strong, even from level 1. The fact that it chains when you hit something is really, really powerful. Let's go ahead and look at the skills before going over the tree. So I have kind of linked in here 4 trees, 1 to 40, 40 to 60, 60 to 80, and then kind of like end game stuff. So let's take a look here at the skills 1 to 40. You're going to basically be using Cobra Lash until you get Spectral Helix, which is at level 12, right? So once you get Cobra Lash, you want to link it up to lesser multiple projectiles and chance to poison. I suggest not using volley right off the start. It's just a DPS loss. You can put in onslaught until you get lesser multiple projectiles. It's really not that big of a deal. Once you do get to level 12, what you're going to do is you're going to switch completely over to Spectral Helix, okay? So you're going to grab Spectral Helix, chance to poison, faster attacks. Faster attacks is until Act 2, until you get till Act 2. Don't worry about trying to add in faster attacks yet. Just add in literally anything. Melee physical damage also works if you have access to it. But you're going to be looking to get this as kind of like a 4 link. Once you hit Act 2, once you get faster attacks, that's your 3rd link. And then, of course, your 4th link will be added chaos. As far as auras, so everything is in order of importance, and from kind of when you get it, you're going to be getting precision fairly early on. You're going to grab yourself Herald of Agony, and then you're going to be using Grace as kind of like your big utility aura. Here I have labeled utility spells for leveling. In order for when you level them, I believe you get Withering Step first, then Plague Bearer, and then the Curse Despair. So Despair is obviously not to level early on in Act 3. But this is kind of what the skills you're going to be using from level 1 to 40. As far as items, I kind of tentatively put in like some Quicksilver flasks, and if you can get yourself hold of a Sulfur flask, awesome. Just kind of throw literally whatever flask you happen to get, it works. So the claws that I have in here, not really important that you have claws specifically. I have made notes in the notes section, so check that out. But essentially, once you get to Spectral Helix, all you're trying to do is keep your items, your weapons specifically, high level, and try to use the vendor recipe to get the physical damage on them. It's really, really strong. You don't really need super powerful weapons. Just using the vendor recipe is perfectly fine. You can use claws, obviously, if you want the sustain, but swords work, axes work, daggers work. Literally any weapon, as long as it's got some decent physical damage on it, will work with leveling. You're not going to be switching to claws a little bit later anyway. And then let's look at the tree. So this is level 1 through 40. I suggest starting here at the bottom, coming up through here at the life, grabbing the damage over time, grabbing sleight of hand, working our way down, grabbing blood drinker. I got this fairly early on, Clever Thief. I felt it helped sustain quite a bit. You're going to grab this whole poison wheel, and you're going to pick up the poisons you inflict on non-poisoned enemies deal 300% increased damage. This is extremely strong early level because it increases the initial hit on monsters, helps tremendously with clear, and ramps up your boss damage pretty substantially. Don't sleep on that. It's really good for leveling. You're going to come down towards this other poison wheel. You're going to grab the whole thing again. You're going to get 20% increased poison duration. And then I suggest grabbing the 3 points here in accuracy, 2 points here in this evasion, and you're actually going to be picking up the Grace Reservation Wheel and the Precision Reservation Wheel as well. That is what your 1 to 40 looks like. So let's go ahead and jump over to what the level 40 through 60 kind of looks like as well. All right, so level 40 through 60 is a little bit different. We're still using Spectral Helix. In order of importance, again, Spectral Helix added chaos, faster attacks, chance to poison is kind of what you're looking for. The auras haven't changed quite yet, but I just tacked on Blood Rage in case you want to add Blood Rage for a little bit extra attack speed, some attack leech, and of course it gives you frenzy charges, which is really, really good. Your life regeneration isn't that high, so I might suggest not using it to start with, but regardless, you can throw on Blood Rage if you want. Again, Withering Step, Plague Bearer, Despair, and I've actually added in Malevolence and Eternal Blessing. This is kind of like your DPS cooldown button. Use this basically essentially when you go against anything that requires a little extra damage. Bosses, rares, arch nemesis, red beast, things like that. So that's kind of what the skills look like at like level 60-ish. You may have noticed that I haven't added any kind of movement skills. The reason I don't is because a lot of people prefer different movement skills. If you like dash, use dash. If you like flame dash, use flame dash. It's up to you. I'm gonna let you make that decision. So just use these auras. This is kind of like your core of your build. Again, the items, nothing really particularly exciting. At this point, you're going to be getting like level 52, level 54, claws that give you life leech, all this other stuff. Again, just use the vendor recipe that I linked in the notes here in the description. So you can make, very easy claws as you level. These are plenty powerful to get you through the campaign. Trust me. As far as the tree, if we go over to 60, the things that have been added since the last time you looked, we picked up this life wheel, got the life mastery. You're going to grab the maximum total energy shield recovery per second from leech. The reason being is because for your merciless type, you're actually going to be getting Soul Drinker, the new one, instead of Polymath. You're going to be waiting until your Uber Lab to get your Polymath. I also forgot to mention, I'm sorry. So at your first ascendancy will be one step ahead. This just pretty much eliminates all slows in the game as you're leveling. Super, super nice. It makes leveling super smooth. So if you get this, it will be amazing. The thing that you do is from the last time is you head up from the top part here. You come up through here and you actually come through here, grabbing this spell suppression wheel, grabbing this whole entire wheel here, grabbing this chaos wheel here with the increased effect of withered. And then you're actually grabbing this spell suppression wheel here as well. That's what the 40 to 60 roughly looks like. So we can jump over to kind of 60 through 80 so you can kind of see what it looks like when you're pushing into those early tiers of maps, okay? All right, let's look at the 60 through 80 level range for this build. The skills pretty much stay the same. There's a couple things you can swap in and out. I've tentatively put in a 5 link. I would imagine by the time you hit level 80, maybe mid 70s, early 70s, should have maybe come across the 5 link by now. If not, just stick with the 4 link. It's totally fine. Auras are up to you to swap. You can switch out Herald of Agony to summon Skitterbots if you want a little bit more defensive, because this chills things. You get similar levels of damage, so I just added the 2 of those just in case you want to swap them out depending on how you feel. As far as items, again, just use the vendor recipe. You should kind of start getting into the point where you can craft pretty decent claws at this point, maybe like a 200 DPS physical claw, and that will carry you really, really far into the game. Not that big of a deal. Let's look at the tree really quick. So if we go back down to level 80, yep, okay, perfect. As far as Ascendancy, you do pick up Soul Drinker here. I think this node is going to be stupid powerful. is going to be so nice because you get the Slayer Overleach on your energy shield, but that doesn't take away your life leech, so you also get life leech as well on top of any kind of flat life you gain on hits. I think this is going to be an extremely tanky build, very sustainable and very, very fun to play in the end game. As far as the tree, what it looks like from 60 to 80, if we just swap back from here, 60 to 80, so you come all the way down from this life node, pick up this claw, pick up this poison nodes here. You make your way actually all the way down to iron reflexes at level 80. We do look to convert our evasion into armor, literally just because the flat mitigation is really, really powerful. Between the overleach on energy shield, the life leech you gain from just claws in general, and with a decent enough spell suppression cap and potentially some dodge through some other mechanics in there, I don't believe you're probably going to need super high evasion to make this work. You could think about going into evasion and spell dodge, converting your spell suppression into spell dodge. I haven't experimented with it quite yet because no one's played Trickster yet, but that is my idea. You actually pick up the Claw Mastery here. You don't worry about going crit quite yet. Reason being is because crit really doesn't add that much damage right now until you get much better gear. So we don't worry about that really quite yet. But that is what it looks like from 60 to 80. As far as items for like really early end game, and I'm talking like some just very basic gear that you could very easily get a hold of. I have built this entire character around the Wasp Nest Throat Stabber here. Now, the only reason I did is because it is kind of just a stand-in for other claws that you could craft. You can easily set your Atlas tree up to spam essences on claws early on and make something much better than this. But for a interim piece, Throat Stabber is amazingly powerful. This could get you through the end game perfectly fine as well. But as far as gear, just like to start with, what you're looking for is just like any sort of life, any sort of energy shield and evasion roll, and any sort of resistances. I just kind of tentatively put some random stuff in there, not anything super crazy. I mean, rings fairly easy to come across, maybe not the chaos resistance roll, but not too bad. And I mean, literally just a life belt. So nothing super fancy. I recommend having Diamond Flask, Quartz Flask, Jade Flask, and Sulfur Flask personally, just because the Sulfur Flask adds a bunch of flat % damage, which is great for poison, and the Consecrated Ground's really nice for sustain as well. But that's pretty much it. I don't think this is going to be super hard to obtain if you set your Atlas tree up correctly and get some like harvest crafts early. Nice change on the harvest, by the way. Essence spamming gear, a little bit of June crafting, stuff like that. Really easy. This can easily push over 1,000,000 DPS with literally trash gear. And if you haven't played Spectral Helix before, it's way more powerful than what the tooltip leads on. So don't think 1,000,000 is not that high. It's really strong with this build. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I've done enough rambling. I will see you guys live over on the Twitch page for the launch of 319 Lake of Kalandra. You guys enjoy the race tonight. Remember to subscribe below. I will see you in the next video. Peace.